Yeah, so guys, I'm gonna be the first one to admit it. I was wrong. I was wrong about Bitcoin. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another cryptocurrency video. And yeah, man, I was completely wrong about Bitcoin. So if you come over here, this is like my Facebook group that you get with Fundamental Secrets, the course I always talk about. I specifically put out a video right here 19 hours ago where it shows that I literally purchased, like right here, I'm basically giving these guys all the moves I make into Bitcoin through this halving. So like literally everything I do, I'm just going to place it out for they can follow or do whatever they want. So I purchased Bitcoin at 880 at $250 after I made the mistake. But I started off and I purchased Bitcoin at like $9,500 in this video. So as you can see here, let me see if I can find the price. But yeah, I purchased right there and put it on full screen for you. I purchased, Bitcoin at $9,600. So technically I made a mistake, and I can understand how a lot of people would think this is clickbait, and I did it for a reason. I did it literally on purpose. I am trying to take your guys' attention away from all the negative media, okay? That is my goal. It was clickbait, but it was for a good reason. What I want to do is I want to follow it up with positive, right? And the positivity and value that I'm giving you is I'm going to give you guys a free PDF. Okay, so just stick along with me. I'm going to give you a free PDF that I created that's perfect for what's going on in the halving. I understand a lot of people might be going through this a little emotional roller coaster. Maybe you bought some Bitcoin just like me at $9,600. I'm gonna show you exactly how to recoup those losses and the exact trading strategy, as well as the emotional control that you should have, during Bitcoin fluctuations price like this. Get used to it, guys. This is the most volatile market on earth. But really quickly, guys, we're also gonna be talking about this in-depth report by Bitstamp and everything like that. The billionaire Paul Toomer basically talking about Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. We're gonna be talking about the 870-day downtrend in Bitcoin and how it recently got rejected. Okay, it broke. I drew this out like months ago, and we're going into some technical analysis. The properties of money, the free PDF that we're talking about, I'm gonna break that down for you. But before we get started, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, my name is Alex. I talk about everything cryptocurrency and internet entrepreneurship. If you're looking to make money on the internet, this is a channel for you. And by the way, for the next couple of videos or so, I'm gonna be dropping these PDFs. So get a little folder, print these out, and put them in your binder so that you guys can have an emotional control and money-making tactics that I've been, that I developed for years. I have testimonials. Go check out my other videos, right? I have the credibility. But again, like every other one of my videos, this is not financial advice. I'm just simply giving you my opinions on the internet. It just happens to be that people follow it because of the value that I bring. I try to back everything up with evidence and facts. I'm trying to keep it down to earth. Again, guys, hit that subscribe button as well as the push notification bell so you can get the videos right to your inbox. Boom. All right, so let's jump right into the video. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about, guys, is yes, I have a Facebook group that comes with Fundamental Secrets. So I have a course basically, and a lot of people have been asking, hey Alex, can I see the course? Can I see the course? So go ahead and click the link below, thefundamentalsecrets.com, and it's gonna take you to there, click buy, and then I'll actually set up a one-on-one call with me so we can go through the course and everything like that, and I can show you the elements of it just in case. Now this is not for every investor. This is more of like an application. So I'm not gonna be accepting all calls. You basically have to apply to get into this. I want to keep the group nice and clean. I don't want people that are half in, half out. I want people that are very serious about cryptocurrency. So I can create the best group in cryptocurrency. I want all stars in this group. That's about it. So again, go ahead and apply so we can go through like a Zoom web call and we can kind of go through everything like that. All right, second thing, let's talk about the PDF really quickly because that's going to be the second link. The second link will take you to this PDF. So what this PDF is the properties of money. So as you can see here, guys, the true sign of a genius is someone that can explain it very simple. So I try to break it down as simple as I possibly can for you so you can really understand. I don't care how much knowledge you have in cryptocurrency. This is something you can understand. And it's also something you can print out, put it on your desk, put it on your wall. I try to make it looking good as possible so you can just literally refer to it whenever something like this happens. So like you guys just witnessed, if you just got into cryptocurrency, you just witnessed a 15% decline. Okay, there's times where Bitcoin will go down 50, 60% in a day. I want you to understand that. Well, probably not likely, more like 30, 40%. But I want you to understand that it's going to be an emotional roller coaster. So you have to have your structure. You have to have your baseline in order, right? You have to have the foundation. If you don't understand what's going on, if you're in here just simply for the money, right, then you're going to get exposed. It's as simple as that. You're going to get exposed, okay? So I have the properties of money, and I'm going to go through it really quickly. And I also have 6 questions you need to ask yourself before you make any trade. Okay, so literally have this on your desktop, have this on your wall, and anytime you make a decision, boom, refer to it. Okay, it'll keep you emotionally aligned, it'll keep you grounded, and that's the whole point of it, right, guys? I want you to win, right? And the winners are in it for the long haul. They're not playing around with no little money. They don't care if Bitcoin drops 20%. If anything, if you guys heard my phone conversation, one of my best friends, I was literally complaining the price of Bitcoin. I wanted it to drop. I was literally like hoping it dropped. I was hoping it drops so I could buy some more. And towards the end of this video, I'll give you the strategy that I use, right? So I'm gonna give you the strategy that I use to get into Bitcoin. Also, there's two altcoins that I've been looking to purchase, and I'll tell you what those altcoins are. So stick to the end of the video. So first thing I wanna show you guys is these are the properties of money. Now this came from, Aristotle and his version of the properties of money, as well as other smart macroeconomic people. You guys can look it up. These are the properties of money. I try to put it in a simple way as possible. I'm gonna explain it really quickly. We'll knock it out. So the first thing is scarcity, okay? Being that money has to be durable, scarcity is a big factor. And this is even bigger in the halving. If you guys don't know what the halving is, I have a video for that. Go ahead and click the link in the description below. It'll take you to the halving video. People tend to like it. It's going mini viral. It's doing better than all my other videos. So it'll explain the scarcity factor in more depth. But Bitcoin has the ultimate scarcity. Not only is it scarce, the inflation's lower than, US dollars and gold, but in 100 years or so, it's going to be finite, okay? Meaning you can never find or mine any more Bitcoin, okay? Dollars, obviously, that's not the case, right? As you guys know, the purchasing power of the dollar, right? In 1913, if you had $100, it would be worth like $3.16 right now, okay? Because they print more and more money. They just recently printed $6 trillion stimulus checks for everybody, gave $4 trillion to the banks and $2 trillion to the people. Actually, they give only like 10 or 20% of the $2 trillion to the people. So clearly, they're devaluing your savings. So when it comes to properties of money, fiat currency is out the window. Okay, gold has not a fixed supply, but gold has a relatively small inflation. So gold is relatively 2 to 3% a year. Fiat tries to stay at 2 to 3% a year when it comes to printing their money. New gold is found at that rate, right? But the thing about gold is that it's natural. So, if we go to another planet, or if an asteroid hits with a whole bunch of gold, or we just find something under the earth that we've never navigated before, there's a lot of parts of earth we haven't navigated, then that inflation will spike, and there's no way to actually physically control it. It's a natural phenomenon, right? So when it comes to scarcity, yes, gold is scarce and it's doing well for that reason, but it's not finite. Bitcoin is literally finite. Once there's 21 million, there's no possibility that more Bitcoin can be created ever. I want you to understand how crazy that is. That's pretty ridiculous. Now, durability. Okay, what does durability mean? It has to stand the test of time. So for the past 10 years, I will give it, durability of Bitcoin. You can't really say that it's 100% durable because it's only been 10 years. But for the past 10 years, it's been the best producing asset of anything. Any investment in the world, it's been the best producing asset. So I'm giving it a check for that reason, that it's completely dominating everything, including fiat currency and, actual gold. So gold's durability, of course, is probably the best, being that it's, been here for thousands of years. People have been using gold forever, right? And then fiat currency, I would say it's durable because it's backed by the credibility of the government and people use it. It's the best form of fiat currency in the world right now. But I would say that it's bad because of the purchasing power, right? So they're printing more money, so it's losing its durability over time. So I'll give that like a second X, right? Now, fungible. What does fungibility mean? It's very straightforward, right? It's actually an easy, or all of them win in this aspect because it's pretty easy. If I were to take like a gram of gold and I give it back to a person, is it going to be transferable? So is this gram of gold the same thing as that gram of gold? They're worth the exact same thing. Is one Bitcoin worth another Bitcoin? Is this guy's Bitcoin more valuable than this guy's Bitcoin? No, they're the same exact thing. Same thing as a dollar. Is the $100 bill the same value, his $100 bill the same value as 5 20s? Yeah, so they're all win in fungibility, okay? So divisibility. Now this is where Bitcoin kind of is a little bit superior. It's not 100% superior, but fiat currency was literally made because gold wasn't divisible. Gold was a sound money, and they use it as the gold standard, if you guys didn't know. So gold, okay, so specifically gold could not be broken down and divisible. So you couldn't go buy a cup of coffee with gold. You can't go buy, a t-shirt with gold, because you can't just, we're going to chip off, like a little piece of gold and give it to somebody. It doesn't work in that way. So fiat currency, these little banknotes, were literally made for that divisibility problem, right? Now, Bitcoin, keep this in mind, is actually 20 times more divisible than a cent. So the lowest, fiat currency can go is a penny. So Bitcoin, being that it has 100,000 Satoshis, is actually 20 times more divisible than a penny. Keep that in mind, guys. So that's really interesting to understand that Bitcoin actually has better divisibility than fiat currency. Now, transferability. Okay. Yes, you can go to the store and give somebody $1. Yes, you can use your credit card to buy things. Fiat currency, right? You can go and you have a bank account with $5,000. You can send the $5,000 to people, by simply swiping a card. Now, I will say that if you wanted to send, $5,000 across the earth, right, to somebody else in China or something like that, the processing methods are very bad, right? So simply put, it's very expensive, very inefficient, and it takes a long time. Cryptocurrency, very cheap, very quick comparison to fiat, and it doesn't take a lot of time. And not only that, but it doesn't have a third-party intermediary, so you don't have to verify with a physical human being. Bitcoin's done automatically, so it absolutely dominates transferability in this aspect. Gold, obviously, you can't send gold across the earth. Like if you wanted to send $1 million worth of gold, you're gonna have to hire a mini army to protect that, right? So obviously, Bitcoin's winning in this. Intrinsic value. Now, this is where a lot of people say that Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. I'm going to give you the use case of where it does, right? So right now, if you were to go on a social media, what's the chances that you're going to pick Facebook versus some unknown name of, social media that somebody made in their basement? Chances are you're going to go to Facebook because why? It has something called the network effect. People use Facebook because it's a revolutionary algorithm made it fun to use. Right? So there was a lot of social medias before, like MySpace. Why did Facebook beat MySpace? Because they were able to retain attention. They were able to, increase communication amongst people in a more facilitated, a more efficient way, right? They were literally better than the other platform for one thing, their coding, their algorithm. So I would argue that Bitcoin is the best code or algorithm when it comes to forms of money, when it comes to a database, when it comes to, peer-to-peer technologies. It is better because, and the value derives from Bitcoin being that's a better form of an algorithm. Okay, guys, I really want you to understand that. Now, properties of money. A lot of people say that the fiat currency, the dollar there, has no intrinsic value, right? It has no, it's worth nothing. It's only from the credibility of the government. But the U.S. government is the strongest in the world. So I would say that that's a good intrinsic value. If the government's backing the U.S. dollar, then I would say that it does have intrinsic value. Now, I would say that innovation is better than, credibility. If somebody's saying it's good versus it actually being good, I think innovation is going to be better. But I would say that the fiat currency does have, some intrinsic value. And of course, gold. People use it for jewelry. People use it for little computer parts, even though a lot of gold bugs don't want to admit that they're phasing out gold being used in computer parts. They're phasing that out. But it does have those properties and it always had intrinsic value. So all three of them get a check for that. So the reason why I gave this to you guys is that if something's happening in the market and you're getting emotional, it's very easy to come back to this, refer to this, look at it and kind of ground yourself, because all it is we're talking about basketball player A versus basketball player B. Basketball player A has way better shots, skills, handles, everything. He's just better. If you were to play 100 one-on-one games, who's going to win majority of the time? That is what's happening right now. It's like a big experiment, guys. It's a big, 40, 50-year experiment. It just depends on who's going to come out on top at the end, right? It's as simple as that. And then people compare, oh, well, the government could take it down. Not really. Have you guys ever heard of the Pirate Bay? You ever heard about all these peer-to-peer technologies that are technically illegal and you can get fined for using them, but for some reason they're on the internet right now, right? They're being used right now. Pirate Bay is not down. You could use these things. It's because the government can control it. If somebody takes one node down or one organization that runs it, they take that guy down, then another guy turns it on. Same thing with Bitcoin. It's peer-to-peer technologies. And if they were to attack all the major nodes, then somebody will, of course, Bitcoin will lose a lot of value, but somebody's going to come and turn their computer on, and a group of people are going to turn their computer on because they have the incentive to, because they have a lot of Bitcoin. And because the miners got took down, so there's an opportunity for them to make money mining, and they will turn the peer-to-peer network on. So when it comes to that's a horrible argument. Okay, so just to give you guys the properties of money really quickly: scarcity, durability, fungible, divisibility, transferability, and intrinsic value. Bitcoin checks them all off and dominates in every sector. And the other forms of money, they're okay. It's essentially what we're looking at here is gold is like LeBron James. And, the fiat currencies like Steph Curry, and then Bitcoin's like a combination of both. You got the dunks, you got, the big body, and you got like speed, quickness, and shot. Like it's literally that. Like that's what Satoshi Nakamoto did, is he took all the properties of both and combined it into one algorithm. And this is why this algorithm is so superior, and this is why it has intrinsic value. Now, before you make a trade, for some of you guys that bought Bitcoin like me in my Facebook group, right? You bought literally at what, $9,500, $9,600, and you lost 10% of your money. This is what you're going to do moving forward. And I will admit, this wasn't a complete, this technically wasn't the wrong decision. And I'll explain further about what I mean by that, when we get to the technical analysis part. But just in case you guys feel bad about something and maybe you feel like you made the wrong decision, think about it this way before you ever make a decision again, okay? Before you make any trade, all you have to ask is, am I prepared? Okay. Are you just doing it because some YouTuber told you to do it? Are you doing it because your friend was talking about Bitcoin? Are you prepared? Did you do the right research, right? Think about these questions very deep. Write as much notes as you possibly can, right? Did you do enough research? Do you even understand how to send a Bitcoin transaction? Half the people getting in Bitcoin right now they're messaging me, asking me to do something as simple as sending a transaction. Do you know what a private key is, right? Do you know all of these questions, all these basics of Bitcoin? If you don't, why are you buying Bitcoin, right? If I lost it all, how much will it hurt? And you can rate these 1 out of 10. So when it comes to research, if you did a week worth of research, you're at like a 0.1 out of 10. If you did 2 months worth of research, you're at like a 2 out of 10, a 1 out of 10, right? If you're in it for a year, you're at like a 9, 10 out of 10, right? So that you could rate everything, right? And how much will it hurt if I lost it all? If you put your whole net worth in, right, into Bitcoin, it will be a 10 out of 10 if you lose it all. Right? You don't want to put your whole net worth. I don't even have my whole net worth, and I've been in cryptocurrency for 5-6 years, right? So you want to ask yourself, if you lose it all, like how bad would it hurt, and lower that down. Make sure it's like a 1 or 2 out of 10, right? Am I forcing this trade? Are you guys buying it just because of halving? Do you understand what's going on, right? Do you understand anything that's going on, right? And at the same time, on the contrary, you want to ask if there's a catalyst, right? What is going on that's making this, worth it for me, right? And then understand the implications of that. If you guys are talking about the halving, why are you thinking about day-to-day price action? If you're thinking about the halving, every YouTuber and including myself on my last video, we're thinking a year from now where Bitcoin's going to go up. So why are you complaining about a 10% decline that just happened in one day? Doesn't make sense. Make sure you understand all the implications before you make a trade. Now, what would an expert do? Okay. Now, that's pretty straightforward. All you have to do is hit literally Google search Bitcoin cryptocurrency experts and see what they're doing. Simple as that. And it'll put you in perspective. If you get these 6 questions done, right? If you look at the properties of money and keep this in your mind at all times, anyone that asks you, anyone that tries to convince you, this is like a grounding PDF that you guys can download. Go ahead and download it in the link in the description below. And when you get this email, you can print it, put it on your wall, do whatever you have to do. And by the way, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I recently hired someone, and I'm able to put in a lot more effort into my videos. I'll be giving you guys PDFs and all this great content in the future. So, stick to that. So first thing I want to talk about really quickly is from Bitstamp. This guy's basically talking about some certain things about the halving that I didn't touch on in my last video, so I kind of wanted to touch on it here. Now, there's obviously the bullish case for Bitcoin and the fact that, they're lowering the supply, the scarcity effect that I kind of explained in this video. I explained it better in my other video. Okay, another thing is the miner selling pressure. So keep in mind, guys, these mining facilities, right? There's mining facilities that are making money off of mining Bitcoin. They put a certain amount of electricity in and they get a certain amount of Bitcoin out. What they do, and 99% of them, is they're selling it immediately, because let's say hypothetically they're putting 100,000 into electricity and they're making 200,000 in Bitcoin, right? If that's what's happening, then they're gonna take your profits immediately. They're not trying to speculate. It's a business. They just made their 100,000. They're gonna cash out, right? They have a lot of incentive to cash out, because if it goes down, they're gonna lose a lot of money and they're gonna go bankrupt, right? So the miner selling pressure will decrease. They will literally not be able to sell, because there's gonna be a lot of miners that are gonna go out of business. Okay, so right now, the 12.5 Bitcoin is being constantly stolen in the exchanges. You can see here, they say the mining selling pressure is equivalent to 4.6 billion, and BTC balances and BitMEX and Bitfinex and Binance, all of them combined. So that's like the selling pressure, right? So you guys know supply and demand, right? Right now, they're increasing the supply by selling it immediately after getting it. Now, when it goes down to 6.25 BTC, what's going to happen is a lot of these miners are going to be put out of business because they're not profitable anymore, right? And being that they're put out of business, right, it's going to lower the selling pressure and we're going to drop, right? So it's going to be more buying pressure. Okay, there's going to be more people buying and not as much selling pressure. What does that mean? The value increases, scarcity. It's as simple as that. So I wanted to give it to you in another perspective, not just the supply versus demand thing. This is just more when it comes to the actual mining. There's a lot to look into there, and you guys can read the whole article. This is not a video for that, but what I want to show you as well is billionaire Paul Tudor Jones. Okay, now keep in mind, he's saying it's the best hedge against inflation, and he's a billionaire. Not only is he a billionaire, but he's a well-recognized billionaire that a lot of investors follow. I really want you guys to understand that. This is big news. I actually got a text message from somebody that works for a big time hedge fund telling me, hey, Alex, like, this is crazy news. This is what you call, mainstream media, people getting into Bitcoin. If it was a scam, do you really think, if it was a Ponzi scheme that a lot of people are still, if for some reason, think it is, do you really think billionaires are going to make that move, right? If it was risky, volatile, do you really think, billionaires would jump into something like this and put their reputation and credibility on the line? Not only is his monetary incentive, guys, he's putting his reputation and credibility on the line by saying it live in an interview. That has big implications for Bitcoin, but again, long term. I told you guys in the beginning of the video that we have an 870-day downtrend from Bitcoin being at 20K. We've been just kind of going down. Now, I kind of drew this out a while ago, this wedge here. I drew it out a while ago, and it literally followed the exact wedge. So you're asking me, Alex, if you thought it was going to hit the top here, and go watch the other videos if you don't know what I'm talking about, but if you thought it was going to hit the top here, then why'd you buy? And this is where it comes to, I kind of clickbaited you, right? This is where it comes in, because I did lose. I made the wrong decision by buying at 9,500, but it was a good bet, because if it was to stay above and close above this wedge, it would be massively bullish, extremely bullish, right? So what happens is, and I hope you guys understand, is that each time it bounces off these things, it kind of acts like a coil effect. So it's coiling down. Every time it bounces off, it coils. And then when it blows past below, and it can go negative too, right? So if it blows below or it blows above, it's going to go crazy. The coil is going to pop, right? So my gamble was, okay, it might have a chance to close above 9,000. It might have a chance to close above this mark, right? So I went in. Now, keep in mind, if you look at my Facebook group where I'm giving away everything, I went in with $500 and I'm trying to dollar cost average with 2,000. So I didn't go all in, right? I only went in with $500. We saw Bitcoin go down. I bought some at $8,200. I bought another $250. If Bitcoin were to keep going down, I'm buying some more at around 7,200. I'm buying some more, right here. I'm at five. If it goes down to 5,500, which it won't, it will most likely go down to like over here. We're going to see something like 6,200 potentially. I doubt it. But if we do, I'm going to have money sitting on the sidelines ready to go, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So my technique, like I told you I was going to say in the beginning, is dollar cost averaging in. I wasn't willing to gamble, because once it happens, guys, once this, 870-day price trend is broken, once it's broken, good luck getting Bitcoin at this price range. So I wasn't willing to gamble by not buying up here. I'm buying up here because it went above. And if it would have closed above, I would have made a lot of money off that $500, right? But being that I was wrong, now I have money sitting on the sideline, and I'm going to be buying as it goes down, buying. Okay? If you guys understand what I'm saying. And if it would have gone up immediately, that $250 I purchased at 8,200 or so, I don't even remember the exact number, I would make money off that, and then I would break even off the 500. So dollar cost averaging is the best strategy, solution, long-term swing trading, whatever you want to call it. That's what I use for my trades. So keep that in mind, guys, when you're looking at cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. That's all about the long term. Make sure you zoom out, see what's going on here, because look at that. We're waiting for that. That's what I'm waiting for, right? These little 10, 20% fluctuations are pretty much a joke, in my opinion. So hopefully you guys feel better about what's going on in the market. That's it for this Bitcoin thing. Let's go talk about a little bit of some altcoins that I potentially going to buy. Being that we see this downtrend right here, what I want to do is I want to buy some altcoins that are doing really bad. So OX just recently went up like crazy. So I already have 0x. So I'm not going to be buying that. But what I saw that went down substantially was basic attention token. Okay, so the two altcoins I was talking about, I'm looking to scoop up a little bit more basic attention token, just because I don't have enough, in my opinion. Outstanding project. You guys know how it is. And then you tell me if you want me to make a price prediction video. Leave a comment below if you want me to make a price prediction. But there's a coin called Unibright. I know a lot of you heard about it. Big YouTubers talking about it. I haven't got in because look at this, man. Look how expensive it is. I like buying low, not buying high, right? So I haven't really talked about it. I don't have any Unibright, but I plan on getting some. Guys, let me know if you want me to make a price prediction video for the future. I think I am going to buy some Unibright. I'm going to scoop up a little bit. I'll take the loss. It's not a big deal. But like I told you guys, there's 2 coins I'm looking at. It's going to be Basic Attention Token and Unibright. Okay. And by the way, guys, if you have access to my course, I put my whole portfolio in there. So it's a new feature. If you haven't seen it, go on the dashboard, go into the course, go on the dashboard, and you'll literally get a live snapshot of my whole entire portfolio. And you can literally copy it if you want to, of course. And none of this is investment advice, but people are asking over and over. So Unibright and Basic Attention Token, I'm looking to scoop up some more of those if we see some cheaper prices. Again, like I said, guys, I'm not like, Bitcoin go to zero, but I hope it drops a couple of percent. I hope it goes down 20, 30%. So I can scoop up some more Bitcoin. Put some more of my checks in there, my monthly income into Bitcoin, dollar cost average on the way down. So when it does go up, when it goes on this big parabolic swing, this is what you want to look for. This is where the money's made. I'm not playing around here. I'm playing around where the money's made. When it goes on a big parabolic swing, which will happen 6 months to 2 years after this halving, that's why the halvings are irrelevant. People are always asking me, Alice, do I have to get it before the halving? And I guess it's good marketing for Bitcoin, but not really. It's all of where you want to buy the Bitcoin. The halving is just an automatic, thing that's built into Bitcoin. For the algorithm, the superior algorithm that we've been talking about in this video, it's automatic, and it basically makes inflation decrease. Now, inflation will be lower than the US dollar as well as gold. It's going to happen. It's the supply and demand thing that everybody keeps talking about, how the demand's going to be higher and everything like that, and the selling pressure that we talked about takes place long-term, not now, long-term, 6 months to a year to 2 years. We're going to see Bitcoin go parabolic, and this is where I'm going to make a majority of my money, on these parabolic upswings that no other asset in the world ever gives anybody, right? You guys, we're talking about percentages that people think are unrealistic, but have done. Bitcoin's been doing it for the past 10 years. But that's it for this video, guys. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.